IAS, former Chief Secretary Manipur, and Dr. U. Venkateshwarlu, retired IAS, former Chief Secretary Tripura, will be joining very soon, and we will begin our first Foundation Day program at 4 p.m. May I make an announcement to the participants that there is an applause button, and the participants may kindly click the button and applause virtually. Thank you. Today is a very significant day for FIPS, Foundation for Innovative Packaging and Sustainability.
Sushmita, you can wait a few minutes.
Okay, sure.
They are finding difficulty to join. Just wait for 2 minutes. Yeah, Sushmita, you can start. Sushmita, you can start.
Today is a very significant day for FIPS, Foundation for Innovative Packaging and Sustainability, as it completes one successful year as the first non-government, non-profit organization in India in the area of innovative packaging and sustainability. The foundation was launched on 28 January 2021, exactly 1 year back, at the hands of our chief guest, Professor A.M. Sharma, Padma Vibhushan awardee, distinguished emeritus professor in eminence, and former director, Institute of Chemical Technology, with the gracious presence of our two guests of honor, Mr. Rajni Ranjan Rashmi, retired IAS and former Chief Secretary Manipur, and Dr. U. Venkateshwarlu, retired IAS and former Chief Secretary Tripura. We had been planning to organize this program as a physically attended program. However, based on the prevailing pandemic situation, this Foundation Day program is being organized virtually. I'm also happy to announce that about 200 participants have registered to attend this program. You will all agree with me that in this modern world, this is the age of packaging. Our daily life starts and ends with packaging only. In fact, we do touch, feel, and enjoy with beautiful packages in every moment. Moreover, importance of packaging has been further realized by all of us during this pandemic, where all of us are very much concerned about hygienic and safe packaged foods. Further, packaging has been a hot topic over the past few years as consumers become increasingly aware of their environmental impact. Consumer expectations and demands that packaging is environmentally sustainable, which is resulting in impressive innovations in the packaging sector. Considering the importance of this subject, Professor N.C. Saha has conceptualized the idea for the formation of Foundation for Innovative Packaging and Sustainability, FIPS, in 2020 with his two professional colleagues, Professor A.K. Ghosh from IIT Delhi and Mr. M.K. Banerjee, former Director Innovations, SL Propack Limited, towards research, skill development and policy advocacy in the field of packaging and sustainability. FIPS is happy to celebrate the very effective and fruitful year that was with significant number of activities completed. Now I have a great pleasure to introduce our founder, chairman, and director, packaging technology, industry relationship and publication, Professor N.C. Saha, who is internationally acclaimed professor in packaging science and technology with 30 years of rich experience. He has worked for 32 years, including 10 years as director and principal executive officer at Indian Institute of Packaging, India's premier institute in packaging under Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Government of India. He is Masters in Food Technology from CFTRI Mysore and PhD in Packaging Management. An alumni of School of Packaging, MSU, USA, and known for his accomplishment in the field of food packaging with a patent to his credit. He was the Vice President of World Packaging Organization and Secretary General of Asian Packaging Federation. At present, he is involved in India Biomass Project as Senior Technical Advisor, initiated by Embassy of the Royal Government Netherlands, Chairman of 5 sectional committees of Bureau of Indian Standards, member expert committees, and Chairman Foundation of Innovative Packaging and Sustainability. May I now invite Professor N.C. Saha with a round of applause for his welcome address. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Smita, for a very illustrious introduction. Very good afternoon. It's my great pleasure and honor to warmly welcome the August gathering on this auspicious occasion on the first Foundation Day of our Foundation of Innovative Packaging and Sustainability, which is in short form called FIPS, which has successfully completed its first glorious year. I really wonder that about a year back when 3 of us, we have been discussing how to start this program, and suddenly I find that it's almost a year is over, and today we have come for our first anniversary. Most importantly, what I find, the kind of enthusiasm of all the active team members of 18 members of FIPS, they did not stop the activities for organizing number of webinars, market research project, publication, policy advocacy, which my colleague Professor Ghosh will give an elaborate discussion about during his presentation in packaging and sustainability during the last 1 year, despite of having the second wave of COVID-19 pandemic. First of all, I take the opportunity to welcome our respected mentors of FIPS, Sri Rajini Ranjan Rashmi, the retired IAS former Chief Secretary, Manipur, Distinguished Fellow of TERI, and Dr. U. Venkateshulu, the retired IAS former Chief Secretary, Tripura, for their kind, gracious presence today. Sir, your kind presence and blessings would always motivate us to carry more fruitful activities to fulfill the mission of our foundation for the benefit of the society. It's also my honor to welcome 2 esteemed keynote speakers of the day. Mr. Atul Bagai, the head of the country office of the United Nations Environment Program, UNEP, New Delhi, and Professor Manoj Kumar Tiwari, the Director, National Institute of Industrial Engineering, NITI, the Ministry of Education, Government of India, for your kind acceptance to deliver the thematic talks on sustainable packaging and effective supply chain management. I also welcome the new partner who has joined, Professor Dheeraj Kumar, the Director, National Institute of Design, Madhya Pradesh, under the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Government of India, to this program, and he will be addressing to the gathering. Sir, I am confident that the presentation will be made by our two keynote speakers will be very informative, and the participants will be highly benefited. I will also take the opportunity to welcome our most well-known motivational speaker, Dr. Radhakrishna Pillai, for his motivational talk on Chanakya Niti for business growth. He is a renowned author for the best-selling book called Corporate Chanakya. He has authored 21 books on the series of Chanakya Niti. We are very thankful to Dr. Radhakrishna Pillai for his kind acceptance to deliver the talk today. I have also welcomed our other MOU partner, Dr. Arun Kumar Sharma, the Director General, Nectar, Ministry of Science and Technology, Government of India, Mrs. Glory Sharupa, the Director General, NIMSME, Ministry of MSME, Government of India, Professor Sabu Thomas, the Vice Chancellor, Mahatma Gandhi University, Kottayam, Kerala, Professor G.D. Sharma, the Vice Chancellor, University of Science and Technology, Meghalaya, Dr. Anil Wali, the Managing Director, Foundation for Innovation of Technology Transfer, FITT of IIT Delhi, Professor Balaram Pani, the Dean, University of Delhi, and the former Principal of Bhaskaracharya College of Applied Science, and the two industry stalwart from the Industry Association, Mr. Arvind Mehta, the Chairman, Governing Council of All India Plastic Manufacturer Association, IAPMA. Welcome, Arvind Bhai, and Mr. Saurav Sharnihal, the Secretary General of PhD Chamber of Commerce and Industry. It's also my honor to welcome the distinguished academicians who have contributed their comment in our white paper 2022, which will be released today. Professor Shibram, the Padma Vibhushan Award, and Professor Emeritus, ICER, and former Director, National Chemical Laboratory, Pune, Professor Ashok Mishra, the former Director, IIT Mumbai, and the Professor Emeritus, the Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore, and Dr. M.K. Gupta, the Director in charge, Central Pulp and Paper Research Institute, CPPRI, under the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Government of India. In addition, we are fortunate and to have the comments from the captains of the Indian packaging industry for their commendable contribution to our white paper 2022. Mr. Ram Sarogi, the Chairman, Camco Plastics Limited, the leading packaging industry who makes all the rigid plastic container. Mr. Sanjay Bhatia, the Managing Director, Hindustan Tin Works, the leading packaging industry in the metal packaging in India. Mr. Suresh Gupta, the Chairman of Huhtamaki, PPL Huhtamaki, the former Chairman, and presently he is the Chairman of the Flexible Association. Mr. Subodh Gupta, who is the past Chairman of Indian Institute of Packaging and the Managing Director of Terrasol India Limited. Mr. Divakar Shetty, the Chairman, Fiber Foil Limited, who makes the fiber foil container, is one of the packaging material. Mr. Ajay Shah, the President, Polymer, the Reliance Industries Limited, who makes the raw material. Mr. S.K. Ray, the Executive Honorary Secretary, the Indian Center for Plastics and Environment, ICPE. Mr. Pankaj Shah, the partner, Mehta Paper, they make the corrugated fiberboard boxes. Mr. S.N. Venkatraman, the Executive Vice President of Business Development. Mr. Sanjay Chinchulakar, the Senior Vice President of Cosmo Film, who are the leading BOPP film manufacturer. Mr. Hari Singh, the Executive Vice President of SRF Limited. They also make the BOPP film. And also the person from 3 industry like Banyan Sustainable Waste, Mr. Bani Vajpayee, the Prashant Khandelwal from the Ganesha Ecosphere, and Mr. Sandeep Patil, the Managing Director of NEPRA. We are very thankful to all of you, and I really warmly welcome to you to this, the first anniversary of the first Foundation Day of FIPS. And finally, I really invite our entire team members, especially our 2 advisors, the Professor Pradyumna Vyas and Madam Lakshmi Raghupati, who has taken out their time from the busy schedule and made it possible that today to participate in this the first foundation program. And I also welcome all the academicians, the packaging consultant, the professional, faculty, students, guests, and the most importantly, one of my colleagues in the World Packaging Organization, Mr. Omar Alex, who has just connected from Nigeria, and he just said hello to us, all of us, and he has also joined. And the ladies and gentlemen and press. As you know that packaging has always been considered as a consumer-driven industry. The pandemic has made a great impact on packaging due to the behavioral change of consumer in terms of the buying habit and health consciousness towards the hygiene and safety. Due to this, a big new demand for intelligent packaging has been observed, because of the sensor-based techniques which enable communication of the information of the consumer about the status of the product inside the pack without needing the open of the package. In other words, the pandemic has accelerated the demand of advanced digital technology and the booming of e-commerce industry. Due to this, there will also be an increased demand for protective packaging for the shipment of goods during the handling, storage, and transportation. Considering the important aspect of packaging, FIPS has actively devoted for the last 1 year to promote for innovative packaging technology by organizing a number of webinar, conference, and so on for the benefit of the students and the other industry members of the society and overall the larger interest of the society. Now, before closing, I'd like to introduce the distinguished team members who have been working for the last 1 year relentlessly for the growth of our foundation. Mr. Jitin, can you go to the first slide? As I said that this foundation, when we thought of it to start it the last year, exactly on the 20th of January 2021 during the lockdown stage, we thought to start and launch it as a knowledge platform, an idea to solution in the name of Foundation for Innovative Packaging and Sustainability. Next. This was officially launched or rather unveiled at the hands of Professor M.M. Sharma, the Padma Vibhushan awardee and the distinguished emeritus professor of eminence, the former director of Institute of Chemical Technology, now University, earlier Mumbai, on 20th January 2021, in the august presence of two of our mentors, Mr. Rajani Kandan Rashmi, former Chief Secretary Manipur, and Dr. U. Venkateshwarlu, former Chief Secretary of Tripura. Next. We, along with me, the two more colleagues, Professor A.K. Ghosh, who looks after the training, R&D, and promotion. He is also now a Professor Emeritus at IIT Delhi in the Department of Material Science and Engineering. And Mr. M.K. Banerjee, who was the Director Innovation in SL Propack, and he is with us in this foundation. Next. These are the two mentors, as already mentioned, R.R. Rashmi and U. Venkateshwarlu, and they are always guiding us for all kind of activity. We take their advice. Next. We have 6 advisors, 3 national advisors and 3 international advisors. We have Dr. Lakshmi Raghupati, the former director of Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, and presently she is a visiting professor of Terry School of Business Studies. And we always say that her expertise in the circular economy, and I'm sure in our country, if you name 1, 2, 3, she will be the number 1 in the field of circular economy. And we are very fortunate to have Madam Lakshmi Raghupati. She has been with us for the last 1 year, very actively associated for all kind of activities, especially on the training and the skill development program. We have Professor Pradyumna Vyas, the former director of National Institute of Design, and based on Ahmedabad. Now, of course, his contribution was NID. I know very well because when I was at IIP, we have been very closely working. He is the person behind who made this NID as an institute of national importance. And he is right now with a CII, but very closely with us. And under his leadership, we have taken a new initiative as called FIPS Award, which will be announced in a few minutes after, and we'll listen more about it. We also have Dr. Anil Wali, the Managing Director of FITT, who is in IIT Delhi, the Federation of Technology Transfer. And he is with us always motivated and giving us for how to make the startup and different kind of collaborative research program. We have a 3 international person, Mr. Safiullah Chaudhary, the advisor from Bangladesh. And he was my colleague in the, even now he's a colleague of the Asian Packaging Federation, Mr. Dharma Ratnayake, the past president from WPO and APF from Sri Lanka, and Professor S. Sinha Roy, the chief researcher of the DST CSIR of South Africa. We have a 3 thought leader, Avijit Chaudhary, who's working in Campbell Soup in USA, and Mr. Deepak Mehta, the managing director, Livermont Corporation. He is one of the manufacturer of the machinery manufacturer for the packaging recycling machinery, and Mr. Tamil Manian, the managing director from the Chennai, and he's also involved on the sustainability, how to make the biogas material. And more importantly, all this expert, they have contributed in the white paper, which will be, after a few minutes, will be released today, the 2022 version. We have 4 chief consultants, Mr. Rahul Bhargav, who has got more than 30 years experience with his academic qualification from our Indian Institute of Packaging, and spent almost 30 years in a different FMCG company. And the last job was the Ranbaxy, the Sun Pharma, and he is with us as a chief consultant for innovation. Mr. S. Bhattacharjee, Subhash Bhattacharjee belonged to Northeast at Guwahati. He was the managing director of the NARAMEC, Northeast Regional Marketing Federation, the NARAMEC under the Ministry of Donor. He is also from a food technologist from CFTRI, having more than 35 years experience on food processing and packaging. We have Deepak Manchanda, who has a 40 years experience starting his career from the metal box and then Ranbaxy, Dabur, and finally the Oriflame. And his passion is on the packaging design. In fact, today this our white paper, which has been conceptualized, designed, everything was done by Mr. Deepak Manchanda. And Dr. Samit Joshi, his PhD in the sustainability, and he is another person with us as a chief consultant. He looks after the sustainability aspect. Next. So thank you so much. This is our website, the www.f-ips.org, and this will be launched. Now with this, I once again welcome our respected mentors, the keynote speakers, motivational speakers, the guest participants, and the entire team members of our foundation, and to make this event a grand success. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. Light is a symbol of brightness and prosperity, as sunlight expels the darkness of might. Similarly, blessings bring in our life prosperity and happiness. To make this event a blessed one, we invoke Shloka to kindle the lamp of knowledge and wisdom. For seeking the choicest blessings for the same, I invite our FIPS mentor, Sri R.R. Rashmi, retired IAS, former Chief Secretary Manipur, and Dr. U. Venkateshwarlu, retired IAS, former Chief Secretary Tripura, advisors of FIPS, and Professor N.C. Saha, founder director FIPS, to kindle the lamp virtually. I also invite all the dignitaries for the same.
Ya kunde dutushara dhavala, ya shupravrat vruta, ya kunde dutushara dhavala, ya shupravrantra vruta, ya veena varadanda manditakara, ya shweta padmasana, ya brahmachyuta shankara prabhrutibhihi devai sada vandita, samam patu saraswati bhagavati nishesha jadyapaha. Shuklam Brahma Vichara Sara Parama, Adyam Jagad Vyapinim, Veena Pustaka Dharinim Abhayadam, Adyandhakara Paham.
Thank you all. A special thanks to little Miss Tosha Banerjee for invoking the beautiful shloka. She is a class 5 student from Hiranandani Foundation School in Mumbai. Now I take the opportunity to introduce Professor Anup K. Ghosh, Director Training, Research and Development and Promotion, who is the distinguished and renowned professor for 3 decades in the Center of Polymer Science and Engineering at IIT Delhi. He is known for his accomplishment in the field of polymer processing and rheology 3D printing of polymers and polymer packaging, and microcellular processing of polymeric materials with 12 patents to his credit. He is MTech in Chemical Engineering from IIT Kanpur and PhD from State University of New York, USA. He is a fellow of National Academy of Sciences, India, President Polymer Processing Society, USA, and member Research Advisory Board, DST, Government of India. Professor Ghosh will highlight about the activities of this foundation. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Sushmita, for nice introduction. Respected mentors of our Foundation for Innovative Packaging and Sustainability, Sri R.R. Rashmiji, retired IAS, former Chief Secretary, Government of Manipur. Dr. U. Venkateswarlu, retired IAS, former Chief Secretary, Government of Tripura. A present advisors of our foundation, my colleagues, the thought leaders, chief consultant of our foundation, distinguished speakers of the program today, and the participants who are attending this program. We are extremely happy to complete the 1 year, and that's why we are celebrating the Foundation Day program of our Foundation for Innovative Packaging and Sustainability, and we have been accomplishing sharing acquired knowledge and expertise to provide service to the community and industries through various activities for overall growth of our society. Over this year, continuously we started moving ahead with specific goal and vision, and it is our belief and trust that our mission is getting fulfilled through our dedicated efforts and continued support from all of you, and by engaging us in your endeavor as it is necessary. And we started with the FIPS. I am presenting the foundation activities up to 2021. And we started with a vision to provide sustainable solution to the targeted group of society and industries through scientific and innovative packaging technology, and to create awareness of circular economy to save the planet. As Professor Shah just mentioned, we have just completed 1 year, and 28 January 2021, 1 year back, we had formed this foundation, and it was inaugurated and unveiled by Professor M.M. Sharma, Padma Vibhushan awardee and distinguished emeritus professor of eminence, in presence of 2 of our mentors, as I mentioned. Next slide, please. Yeah. So the major activities of our foundation remain on innovation, sustainability, knowledge platform, skill development, and policy advocacy. As I have given in details, elaborated on that, and skill development program, we had undertaken collaborative training and education program. We are providing knowledge platform for industry and community. We are involved in upgradation of skill and knowledge for women and youth of different communities. And this was pursued under Skill India mission to make more self-reliant. We are also fully involved for research and innovation with collaborating research on packaging solution, materials, and sustainability. We are involved in supporting industry with innovative packaging technologies, packaging design services and solutions, and we look forward to development of technology center or center of excellences in this particular area involving innovation and sustainability. One of our major importance is also in the involvement in the entrepreneurship and the translational research. This translational R&D, we like to take it from lab to commercialization, and we are collaborating with universities and other organizations. We are also connected with the startup companies with packaging design, development, and sustainability, looking forward for the cutting edge technologies for conversion of packaging waste into value added products. And the other important activities of us is in the publication and policy advocacy. We are organizing number of research conferences and workshops which are involved in regulatory compliance, product stewardship. We have programs which are involved in framework for circular economy, design advocacy, and policy support. We have number of MOUs and collaborations already developed within this last 1 year. Among the collaborative institution, we have with us the collaboration or MOU signed with, as you can see on the left hand side, with the 7 institution. One is with the Nectar, with the Northeast Center for Technology Application and Reach in Shillong, Mahatma Gandhi University in Kottayam, Kerala, Northeastern Regional Institute of Science and Technology, NERIST, in Arunachal Pradesh, also with NIMSME, the National Institute for Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises in Hyderabad, Foundation for Innovation and Technology Transfer, FITT in IIT Delhi, University of Science and Technology, USTM in Meghalaya, and Bhaskaracharya College of Applied Sciences in Delhi University. And we had undertaken number of programs with them, and we look forward to taking more activities in this coming year as we move on from here. We also have MOUs signed with the 2 new associations. One is a PhD Chamber of Commerce and Industries, and we already have program with us, and number of programs are there. And also with the All India Plastic Manufacturers Association, along with the MTech Arvind Mehta Technology and Innovation Center. And we have a year-long program of 4 modules, which I'll be presenting today. We have undertaken with them. And we look forward to a new collaboration, which will be signing today with the National Institute of Design in Madhya Pradesh. That will be also is a part of the event today. As you can see, I have put it together, the number of activities that we have. It will give an idea that it ranges from food packaging to packaging innovation and environment, process foods to enhance livelihood, to enhance export market. So we have our February program last year with the UST Meghalaya, followed by the again in February 2021 with the PhD Chamber of Commerce in New Delhi, which was on packaging innovation and sustainability. And then we had with the NIMSME Hyderabad in March 2021. And then we had 2 programs in April, one with NERIST Arunachal Pradesh, and one is NARCOM in April, and also with the Indian Pharmacopoeia Commission in New Delhi that we have taken in August of this program. So these are the programs we have done in collaboration with the organization and institution which have our memorandum of understanding. We also, as a foundation, we took number of virtual conference series that we followed. We so far we have completed 2 series in this line. Part 1 with the pathways to profitable recycling enterprise in 29 July 2021, and part 2 was organized in October 2021 with the deriving value from post-consumer MLP waste. As you can see that these were concentrating mostly on these webinars on plastic packaging waste management and sustainable technology solutions was our idea. And we were trying to add ability to sustainability through this program, and number of speakers, distinguished speakers were invited, and the deliberations were made. And both these programs were done in collaboration of Mahatma Gandhi University, Kottayam. And we are actually going forward to have our 3rd part in this series, which will be announced very soon, within 2-3 months. We also have taken a number of educational short-term certificate program. And here we have an example we have done with the Bhaskaracharya College of Applied Sciences with the University of Delhi. And this was a 40-hour long course program, which was attended by more than 80 students across India, which commenced on 26 July 2021. And we had continued for 5 weeks in this program every week. And this was a kind of an academic program approved under Delhi University. And we have covered the course content, which is like an academic course requirement to complete a certified program under this. I must mention this short-term course was also supported by National Academy of Sciences India Delhi chapter. And we had a inaugural program with the innovative packaging and sustainability, with the distinguished members of the NASI being present in this program to inaugurate the this particular program, and it was a highly successful program. As we moved on, we also taken up more programs with the industry association, as I mentioned, with the All India Plastic Manufacturer Association and MTech. We named it as the Executive Development Program. This program we have proposed in the 4 modules. Module 1 with the materials enhancing marketability. Module 2 with the environmental aspects and circular economy. I must say that both of these 2 modules we have completed. And module 3 is the advanced technology in rigid and flexible plastics packaging. And module 4, design innovation, print and statutory compliance, will be taken up in this coming months in the February and March, and will be completing by end of April all these programs. To give you the glimpse of it, the first module, as I said, the materials enhancing marketability, was a 4 weeks program starting from 2nd September 2021. About 30 executives attended this program. And as you can see that on the right hand side, and we have eminent speakers from our foundation, as well as from the academicians from India and abroad from the very distinguished universities. As you can see that, as a part of that, we are bringing out a kind of the book material, as you can see on the left hand side, and the volume 1 has members who had given lecture, and their lecture handouts are all given in this book, which has been given to every participants who have participated in this program. This was our second module, environmental aspect and circular economy. This commenced on 18 November 2021, and we finished on 11 December 2021. And this was mainly on the environmental aspects. And as you can see that we brought out the second volume again with the contributions from all eminent faculty, and it was become a very valuable document for all the participants, who each one has been given this along with their certificates. So this was highly benefited educational program that we could bring it out with the IPMA MTech in this program. We also have undertaken the collaborative research project. This was taken up on the post-consumer beverage packaging waste management in India, and exploring suitable tool to facilitate high-end recycling. This will be 2+1, almost 3 years project that we are developing. This the studies on the post-consumer beverage packaging, which will lead to a consortium, which may lead to the special the plastic waste management system. This is sponsored by an European company, and the program is run jointly by our Foundation for Innovative Packaging and Sustainability, along with the FITT, IIT Delhi, the Foundation for Innovation and Technology Transfer. The project is in progress, and we are almost completing 1 year sometime in this year for this project. We also have participated in Tech Fair organized by Nectar in Guwahati, and this was happening in this very recently completed in December. On 21st and 22nd December, there was a brainstorming conclave and Tech Fair on Atmanirbhar Northeast through science and technology interventions. As you can see that we had our stall in this exhibition. And you can see the students of Cotton University, Guwahati, with their traditional costumes, along with our director, chief consultants are being present there, and it was a highly successful one. As also you can see that Professor Jagdish Mukhi, the Honorable Government of Assam, along with Professor Arun Kumar Sharma, the Director General of Nectar, visiting our foundation stall there, and which was visited by a large number of people participated in this program. With this, I like to thank you with these activities, and I look forward to more number of activities in this coming years. And this is our website, and you please visit our website for all this information and www.f-ips.org. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for giving such an informative lecture. Ladies and gentlemen, FIPS has been working in innovative packaging and sustainability for last 1 year. However, sustainable design in packaging is considered to be the need of the hour. To elaborate this aspect on leveraging design potential of Indian products by competitive and creative design, may I invite Professor Pradyumna Vyas, advisor, FIPS. Professor Vyas was the former director at National Institute of Design, NID, India's premier design institute. Currently, he is a senior advisor of design promotion and innovation at Confederation of Indian Industry, CII, and board of directors of World Design Organization, WDO. He acquired his master's in industrial design from IIT Bombay and honorary Masters of Arts degree from University of Creative Arts in Farnham, UK. Professor Vyas, please.
Thank you very much. I was on mute. My heartiest congratulations to Professor Saha, Professor Anup Ghosh and their team for completing 1 successful years of the foundation. And I must say that the enthusiasm which I have seen of the team is just incredible. I also feel delighted to have my colleague, Dr. Dheeraj Kumar, Director, National Institute of Design, Madhya Pradesh, as design has been visualized one of the major ingredient in sustainable development. So I think this partnership is going to go a long way. But let me just set the ball rolling about sustainability aspect and the packaging. That packaging industry has really, with the plastic, I think a lot of through emissions happened, and in fact, a lot of protection has been provided by the packaging industry, packaging design. But as my colleague was earlier saying, that it has really also increased the linear economy, and that somewhere one has to look into that the waste management and how design can help in shifting from linear economy to circular economy. Now, mostly this consumer-centric economy focused on technology-led innovation, and still it is happening that when we see that the technology, new technology is coming up, and then it provides a lot of innovation possibilities. New materials are coming up and it provides a lot of innovation possibilities, and we get carried away and we just start bringing product after product, but not realizing that sometimes they led into wicked problem. And this wicked problem, I think somewhere the foundation need to address, and that is what we are really looking into, that yes, industry is interested in making money. The new material manufacturers are promoting the what you call their materials, and see that they get a bigger catchment area, and there has to be somebody we should look into the benefits of the user. So I think the technology-led innovation, which is gone through, which is going through, it has to change to human-centric and earth-centric, and that is where the role of institute comes very strongly. That when students are and the faculty members are working with industry, at least they would be able to suggest that what is right for the future, and how anything which we are bringing in for the future could be more sustainable in terms of whether it is recyclability or reusability for the human advantage. That's why many times you see that people are talking about industry 4.0, and this 4.0 has captured the mind space of most of the businesses, that how we can really grow with 4.0. And Japan has brought this particular aspect of society 5.0. And I think when we want a sustainable, try to fulfill the sustainable development goals, somewhere we have to focus more on society 5.0, where the society comes first and technology becomes the enabler. So foundations work which is happening in this area, and especially in the advocacy of sustainability aspect, which Dr. Ghosh has mentioned, I would say that our agenda should be very, very specific in future, that how a right direction can be given for the user and the environment sustainability. And those are some of the aspects where we can add value in the packaging industry, in institutions, bringing the what you call multidisciplinary approach on a platform where the stakeholders, various stakeholders can look into different aspects of it, and we come out at least we can have some kind of policy advocacy which is more sustainable and more in a way looking into the future aspect. I just was talking in a bamboo mission of Madhya Pradesh just before this, and I saw that there is so much of work is happening in the bamboo area. And I would say that the Northeast is so much full of bamboo and bamboo related activities. How we can bring in bamboo packaging, that is a big area which can be looked into. And I think somewhere we can see that a lot of this organic food chain which are coming up, more becoming more organic, how bamboo and the natural fibers can be used in the packaging. And there are, I saw the list of the number of institutions and ministries are involved in the bamboo development activities, where certainly we can also pitch in and see that how packaging can be promoted through this natural material. In the leaves packaging, now in lifestyle product, the startup companies are coming up. You see that a lot of these startup companies, I think somewhere that catchment area we need to really look into. They need a packaging solution, and how our foundation can really connect with industry or the government or these NGOs with this the startup companies. So I really feel that's a vibrant team. And in 1 year, I'm telling you that I am there with Professor Saha from the day one, and I have seen him as a director of Indian Institute of Packaging with so much of vibrancy and energy, and his team obviously with all the people with absolutely without any personal gain. They are working towards the larger cause of the sustainable packaging. It's a great opportunity, and I would say that we can certainly make difference in the packaging, future of the packaging industry, the way it is going. And now Professor Dheeraj Kumar, Dr. Dheeraj Kumar is on the board, and I see that the National Institute of Design, Madhya Pradesh, will also help foundation in suggesting some of the most creative ideas in the packaging field. So I again wish a great success and achievements of this foundation, and with the team which is there with Dr. Saha. I would say that a lot of the milestone which have been fixed will be achieved very fast. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Vyas. Thank you so much for your kind words. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, I am pleased to inform you that as per the advices of mentors, advisors, and FIPS team have decided to have the blessings of reputed institutions and universities under the Government of India for their collaboration with the foundation to undertake research and skill development in the field of packaging and sustainability for the benefit of students, MSME, self-help women's group. In this context, Foundation has already signed MOU with 7 institutions and 2 associations. With the kind initiative of Professor Vyas, FIPS has been able to connect Professor Dheeraj Kumar, Director, National Institute of Design, Bhopal, under the Department of for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade, DPIIT, Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Government of India, to sign a MOU for skill development, research, and contest in the field of packaging design. On behalf of Foundation, I am pleased to announce that Director of NIDMP is present here, and Memorandum of Understanding exchange will be done virtually. Thank you all for your kind association with FIPS to achieve our goal. Ladies and gentlemen, FIPS team has taken a great initiative to publish the white paper, which is a collection of comments, views, write-ups, and advices of distinguished experts in their respective fields of expertise to cover packaging and sustainability along with the advertorials. I must reiterate that FIPS brought out its first white paper during the launch of the foundation, and this one is the second following in line. I shall now request Mr. Deepak Manchanda, Chief Consultant Packaging Design FIPS, who has made the design concept of this white paper. He is having more than 40 years experience in packaging. During his career, he started his journey from Metal Box India and then head of packaging development at Dabur India, Ranbaxy Limited and Oriflame Silver Oak. Mr. Manchanda would highlight about the important aspects of white paper.
Thank you, Sushmita, and good afternoon to you all. A white paper, as we all know, is a document usually issued by a not-for-profit organization or company to highlight features of a solution, product, or service that it plans to offer. FIPS is a not-for-profit knowledge platform that aims to contribute to the growth of the packaging industry in India by offering its knowledge, experience, and R&D skills. It is an idea to solution approach. Sharing information and policy advocacy are central to the idea of FIPS. For these reasons, when it was formed in 2021, FIPS published the first white paper. The 2021 white paper had 50 pages and a total of 16 informative articles by FIPS in-house team of knowledge experts. The 2021 white paper in digital format was mailed directly to an active mailing list of about 3,000 packaging industry professionals, business entrepreneurs, and users. It was uploaded to the FIPS website, which has had more than 46,700 views till date. From the website, it has been freely downloaded by several thousand readers for their use. Based on the success of the 2021 white paper, the 2022 white paper is a bigger, more ambitious, and more responsible undertaking. This year's white paper has 111 pages, and besides FIPS's own knowledge team, this time comments, opinions, and information were invited from eminent business leaders, MDs, and CEOs, and distinguished professors to contribute to it too. It has 2 messages from our mentors, 14 comments from our business leaders, and 4 comments from eminent professors. 3 of our MOU partners have contributed their appreciation letters. There are 11 knowledge articles from the FIPS team. In addition, there are information articles and opinion pieces and advertorials from invited authors. We are proud to report that the 2022 white paper has come out to be a valuable collection of insights and knowledge that can point towards the latest trends and directions in which the country is moving. For easy readability, the white paper is divided into 5 key sections. These are comments. The comments consisting of insights about the post-pandemic business scenario from business owners, managing directors, CEOs, VPs, and professors. Knowledge, with articles from the FIPS team members about their domain specializations on emerging technology, research, sustainability and recycling, circular economy, biogas generation, Northeast business opportunity, Sri Lanka packaging industry, packaging consultancy practice, and design trends and innovation. Then we have a section on MOU partners, which includes messages and appreciation letters from among the 9 organizations with whom FIPS has signed MOUs to conduct training and share research. In addition, we have a section on information articles contributed by invited organizations to provide latest information about what is happening in recycling, solid waste management, sustainable packaging development, and the use of used laminate beverage carton recycling. Finally, we have the advertorials, which is a unique feature in this white paper. It is to provide a platform for startup companies to showcase their product, service, or technology. We are proud to have enthusiastic response and be able to feature several promising future companies. In addition, we thank the advertisers who have come forward generously to support the white paper with their donations. Needless to say, without that support, this scale of white paper would not be possible. The least we can do is to feature their advertising in the paper. Last but not the least, the white paper provides a glimpse of the aims and objectives of FIPS, as well as a summary of the wide range of experts who have agreed to give their time and effort to it. Among the targets FIPS has set for itself in 2022 is a key announcement in this white paper, which is about the plans for setting up the FIPSA Trophy for Responsible Packaging in association with NIDMP. You will be hearing more about those plans later during this program. May I urge you to kindly support the white paper 2022 by downloading it from the website f-ips.org and make good use of it. Now with this, I would request our mentor, Dr. Venkateswarlu, to kindly unveil the white paper 2022. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I have a great pleasure now to introduce our mentor and special speaker of the day, Dr. U. Venkateswarlu. He is a senior IAS officer of 1986 batch Tripura, Manipur cadre with decades of experience in general administration, planning, and statistics. He has served in many senior positions in different ministries, including Food Processing Industries, Government of India. He implemented various Model Agricultural University Act in Government of Andhra Pradesh, instrumental for setting up Agricultural College and College of Veterinary Sciences in Tripura. Finally, he was superannuated as Chief Secretary Tripura. He is also the mentor of our foundation. Currently, he is settled in Hyderabad. May I invite you, sir, to release the white paper.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon to all of you.
Yes.
Can you see me?
Afternoon.
Yes, sir. It will be virtually. Yes.
I know. Yes.
Thank you, sir. May I now request Dr. U. Venkateswarlu, sir, to address the gathering.
Hello to all of you.
Yes, sir.
Indeed, it's really great pleasure to having been associated with all of you. In fact, I have had this association for last 10 to 12 years. In fact, I've been seeing this packaging industry, particularly in the government sector. And with my particular association with Dr. Saha and the institution, IIP, has been growing, step by step. And even after his retirement, he captured the interest and taking it in a sustainable manner, fast forward in a way. So, hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So it's really 1 year though we have completed. In 1 year, despite pandemic, despite all the hurdles which nature has caused, particularly for the education system, of course, for all other things also it has disrupted. But let us talk about only our educational system. In a way, packaging, we are trying to educate through our foundation the importance of packaging, particularly how to do the sustainable packaging, particularly. In fact, for a packaging industry, you require not only safety of the product, shape or size of the product, or sustainability or durability of the product inside. These three factors will remain forever, whether it is next 30 years or 40 years, 100 years. Without durability of the product being safeguarded or kept in safety, nothing can be achieved at all, right? So Dr. Padimna was saying about the organic food, bamboo packaging and all in northeastern states. Yes, there is enormous scope. The problem with Tripura and other northeastern states, they come in waves and go in waves. Particularly the products, like many products of bamboo products are sold in London market. In fact, way back in 15 years, 15 years ago, suddenly it falls down. Either it is due to lack of proper packaging, or maybe lack of proper advertisement or publicity, or whatever may be the cause. The government sector unfortunately doesn't concentrate much on the packaging as well as the publicity. So therefore, it is the product, particularly in Northeast in particular. Now SpiceJet perhaps started the flights to Hong Kong and all for entire Northeast, whether it is a pineapple, whether it is a any vegetable or maybe bamboo. This all in a grown naturally almost without much cultivation from a farmer. Nature does everything there by and large, right? So therefore, proper packaging, attractive packaging, saying the importance of or showing the scope of organic food will take these products a long way, right? Particularly I'm happy also today to see that NID is associated. Particularly NID, I had, when I was in Tripura as a chief secretary, we have given a project to them to design our pineapple, organic pineapple, logo, which NID Ahmedabad has done that time. Of course, Bangalore office have come forward and done all the work, but coordinated by Ahmedabad office, I think. So I'm very happy that with the NID coming into picture, the design also, very important aspect actually. So that also will take care. And more so with all the mentors, particularly I know only few of them in person. I met also like Banerjee, Ghosh. I don't know I have met or not, but others, all I've been in, seeing all of you in these, conferences, and Saha in particular, Dr. Ghosh and others, even Bhattacharya from Northeast. He is a good, helping hand, and he knows a lot of things there. So we can take it forward that also, and particularly the national institutes, which the government of India institutions, like we have done one program with MSME here, like that. If all the MOUs, wherever we have signed, I suppose we should complete at least one round of a program. Particularly, I myself belong to agriculture, side. It is better to have, all the programs with the agriculture final year graduates, some sort of education, for them also. Packaging is really not known. Like, though I am agriculture graduate, I never focused or concentrated or thought about it. Ever since when I joined in food processing, then only I realized packaging is very important. Maybe because of our job content, we are in one job today, the other job tomorrow. So I am in municipality today, tomorrow I am in home ministry. Therefore, I have no scope to concentrate. But the students who are studying agriculture, for them, it's really good to have one seminar with Mahatma Gandhi, Kottayam, Kerala. And also similar, all the institutions, wherever we have signed MOU, I would request the founder, Saha, Dr. Saha, Ghosh and Banerjee and all, to complete at least one program, so that, they have not only awareness as well as education, right? And also like, these capsules are very good, like 40 days capsules, which our Dr. Ghosh had mentioned, and having some collaborative programs with all these institutions also. In fact, we must do with every and each and every institution. And also it is a time that, if it's possible, we should start some chapters, maybe a Delhi chapter, or maybe it's too early, I am saying this perhaps, which of course it can be kept in back of our mind. Maybe Delhi chapter can be taken care by Dr. Ghosh. He lives in Delhi, I suppose. Maybe Banerjee can take care of Western chapter, things like that. I mean, Southern chapter. Maybe it's too early to say this, but it can be kept in view, right? And particularly, ITC does a lot of, agriculture focused company, it's agriculture focused company. Other thing, I had heard Dr. Saha was saying about, SRF. SRF is one specialty chemical company which does a lot of things on packaging also, I suppose. So it's good. I'm happy to note that, we have discovered SRF and sort of, I made a tie-up with them. It's a very, indeed, a good opportunity to work with SRF. It is one of the promising company, I suppose. Similarly, on the agriculture food side, in fact, ITC is coming up with a new 2 vegetarian proteins. Though in Bengal, nobody is vegetarian, including Brahmins for that matter, right? So, but despite that, the packaging has a lot of role in ITC. So I'm sure that they are doing it very well. But still, if there is any scope for a project or anything, we can tie up on that. Similarly, HUL is another FMCG great company. And also I heard Dr. Saha saying about Sanjay Bhatia. I happened to meet him when I was in IIP some 10 years ago. So very happy to note that. And with all difficulties and problems in the society, economy, nature, health, all having surpassing all this, having achieved at least this 1 year with this, it's a great achievement to have so much achieved, almost virtually by and large. So great congratulations to all of you and the team, and also our founder, and also major 2-3 people, particularly Bhattacharya from Northeast, and Banerjee and Ghosh and others also, though I don't know your names. So therefore, don't think that I am not mentioning. In fact, every one of you have contributed. Otherwise, this would not have been a success. So I wish the program a great success ahead, and let us do it well and do something grateful to the society and useful to the society. Particularly a project like European, it was very encouraging to listen that. So we can get 1 or 2 more. So we can also encourage with our the part of recycling. As I said earlier, also I said some 15 years ago, 20 years ago, when I was PS to Jaipal Reddy in 2004, there is one gentleman who used to come to me, some Rahman, his name. He was a brother of some Rahman, deputy speaker. They were laying plastic roads in Bangalore in 2004. So thereafter it has gone. I don't know whether it is still there or not. That also one can think of in the recycling. So enough plastics we generate, because all the sea animals, they die, sea fish and all, aquafina, they all die because of the plastic and all. So we can contribute. There are enough scope is there. There is infinity is the scope, I must say. So with this, I sincerely wish everyone in the program, everyone in the foundation, involved directly or indirectly, seen, not seen and all, a great success, and wishing you all the best. Thank you very much for giving me this.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for your presence.
Thank you, sir, for your encouraging words. Professor Dheeraj Kumar is a graduate in Fashion Technology from Indian National Institute of Fashion Technology, NIFT, Delhi, and Masters of Business Administration and Design from Jaipur National University. He is having 20 years experience in design, started his career at NIFT and then Pearl Academy of Fashion, Principal, Indian Institute of Gems and Jewelry, Jaipur, and now Director NIDMP since January 2019. May I request Professor Dheeraj Kumar to speak on packaging design potential in India and objective of NIDMP and FIPS partnership. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Smita. I think I'm audible.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Right. Yeah. Thank you. Good evening, esteemed dignitaries, panelists, and everyone on the board. Heartiest congratulations to team FIPS led by Dr. Saha on the first foundation day for completing a year of many achievements. So I'm quite overwhelmed when I'm hearing about so many achievements during this difficult time. And I think putting together such an excellent conference on this day, it's very relevant with wonderful sessions. I'm really looking forward to it. And I'm also looking forward to the association that we are beginning today. So I'm sure next year when we will be celebrating the second foundation day of FIPS, there will be a lot to report between our collaborations. So I would like to specifically mention and acknowledge the contribution of Professor Vyas for bringing us together. He has always been helping us in the capacity of mentor. And I think it is his effort that I think today we are on board in this particular conference. So as a designer and the head of NID Madhya Pradesh and a nature lover, I actually dream of a day when material science and manufacturing can deliver on the premise of zero environmental impact. High performance and premium finish with very low costs. That is something which is a very big challenge. So that is something which collectively we all need to address. And packaging that over a period of time reduces its environmental footprint is the need of the time that we live in. And many breakthroughs have happened, but they are at a very nascent stage. For example, paper foam, RPET, PLA, they have yet to break through in the price segment because they are not competitive in terms of performance and even from the economic perspective also. Sustainable packaging needs to consider the economic aspect on a very, very prime concern, because packaging is something which people get away immediately after purchasing the product. So it's not a factor for which they would want to pay a premium. So that is something which is very important. Especially when we are competing with low cost, traditional oil-based single-use packaging options. So that's where I think the biggest challenge will be, and that probably will become the main brief for all of us to deliberate in this particular collaboration. NID Madhya Pradesh with FIPS in this collaboration, we are looking forward to a very unique award with the name FIPS and addressing most of these issues in a very effective manner. I really hope that together with your expertise in the domain and with our expertise in the creativity, we will definitely be able to bridge this gap and address most of these issues and come up with a lot of sustainable packaging options which are very simple and having a straightforward methodology. Until the materials of the future significantly come down in cost, we must design with intent. So I think that's going to be one of the most important things. So I think how we as creative people look at the intention that circularity or a lot of social design ethos, how can we bring in? That's going to be one of the most important things. So recently, in fact, on our 73rd Republic Day, I came across a very interesting example. It is the invitation card by Ministry of Defense with a footnote message in that. So the message read that sow this card to plant an amla plant. So the paper on which the card was printed is a plantable paper, which is not only biodegradable, but can be sowed so that you get a plant out of it. So I really found this whole idea as a breakthrough, idea, because it is initiated by government. So initiatives like these creates a very positive mindset in the society about sustainability. So that is what I really feel somewhere through our collaboration, we'll be able to have many initiatives where a lot of thought provocation will happen at a society scale. And this collaboration will significantly contribute for a brighter future when designing for sustainability can become a much more simple and straightforward methodology. So until the materials of the future, as I said earlier, brings down the cost, let's, I think, start deliberating to designing with a lot of thoughtfulness, intent, and delivering the major concerns which this earth is facing. So to, I think, talk about on the session which is given to me, I think we would require a little more longer duration. And today, really, there is a different agenda. So I really feel that, on a different day, in a different platform, we will talk about packaging design potential in India, because there are a lot of challenges, there are a lot of opportunities which we can together, articulate a lot of initiatives and implement, step by step to achieve, to make a most powerful impact. So I again congratulate the entire team, very ably led by the most dynamic person I have ever come across, Dr. Saha, and giving us this opportunity to be part of this first foundation day. So thank you for including us in part of your history, and I think we will charter a very unique journey with you, and we wish you all the best. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Professor Dheeraj. Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, we now bring to you a unique initiative by the FIPS to announce its first ever awards to be unveiled on its first Foundation Day today. This attempt is to recognize, honor, and reward organizations or individuals every year for their achievements and contribution towards excellence in packaging involving innovation and sustainability. To highlight the concept of this awards and details of this exciting event, we now invite Professor N.C. Saha, Founder Chairman of FIPS. May I now invite Professor Saha to highlight about FIPSA 2022. Over to you, sir.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I think, first of all, let me express my sincere thanks to Professor Dheeraj Kumar, the National Institute of Design, Madhya Pradesh, who has come forward to be associated with us. And we thought that is the best occasion for today on the first Foundation Day, where we can really make an announcement about FIPSA. Can you show the slides? So FIPSA, the name is very catchy, but it's very simple to understand. This is about our foundation called Foundation for Packaging Sustainability Award. Now, everyone we are talking about, and in fact, in this 21st century, all of you will agree with me, there are two buzzwords. One is called innovation and sustainability. So we have been doing a lot of brainstorming in our core team, what should be the name of the award, because everybody is looking for, even the last 1 hour who have been listening, Professor Vyas and Professor Dheeraj Kumar is talking about sustainable material. So we feel that there are very important aspect about the sustainability, the important aspect about innovation, and also think about design. And ultimately, we are all thinking about the circularity of this material. So keeping in mind, we thought the best option would be the FIPSA, the award, which will be for responsible packaging. So we'll have a responsible packaging award, which will be for responsible design, responsible innovation, and responsible circularity. Next. Now, why responsible packaging? At present times, it appears more important to bring back the idea of responsibility in all spheres of activity and institution. Over the years, a perception has grown that packaging industry has been irresponsible by encouraging the use of single-use, non-biodegradable, and non-recyclable packaging, and that has polluted our environment and rivers and ocean. FIPSA award is an attempt to promote a more responsible packaging environment in which the good that the packaging does is recognized and the improvement that are needed are highlighted. The intention is to draw the attention to highly deserving packaging, and that is actually better by design, by innovation and sustainability. And I feel that no one other than NID Bhopal could be the best partner for us to make our mission successful as a responsible packaging award. Next slide. The FIPSA trophy, in keeping the idea of the responsible, the FIPSA trophy will be designed by using the recycled packaging and renewable natural material. As Professor Dheeraj was mentioned, he's a nature lover. And exactly, we are also thinking that how best we can use the renewable natural material with a safe ink. Even the ink what we use, we should be using vegetable-based inks as the decoration. So this trophy, what will be unveiled today by our mentor, it is just a symbolic trophy, but actually we are planning to have a trophy design based on a competition by the students of NID Bhopal, and which will be done. We have a plan that in this year, maybe in the middle of 2022, we'll have a jury of the competition on the different category, different trophy would be designed, but this design of the trophy based on maybe a competition from the NID students and will come out a trophy. But today's trophy, what will be showing the next slide, or you have seen the slide, this is just a symbolic. And then we are thinking the next year on 20th January 2023, we'll have a FIPSA award ceremony, who will be all the award winner. They will be coming forward to take the award. So we have an appeal from the foundation, we being an NGO. We are making an appeal to all the sponsor and participants that in order to institutionalize this FIPS award as a packaging award with a difference, we seek help in sponsorship of the trophy and certificate, and we invite MSME brand owners especially to send their entry to participate in the competition and award selection process. And as I said, that we'll be announcing the date probably in the mid of August of 2022. The process would start because there are a lot of discussion to be needed to be done. And finally, the award ceremony will be the next year on the same day, 28 January 2023. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, I have a great pleasure to introduce our mentor, Mr. Rajni Ranjan Rashmi, a senior IAS officer of 1983 batch of Manipur cadre with decades of experience in policy making and public work. He is an expert on climate change and related environmental issues and policies. He received the Prime Minister's Award for Excellence in Public Administration of his work on reforms in the area of financial administration of the state. He was India's principal negotiator for climate change before and after the Paris Agreement. He was superannuated as Chief Secretary Manipur, and now he holds the position of a distinguished fellow in the Energy and Resource Institute, TERI, works as an independent environmental think tank in New Delhi. He is also the mentor for FIPS. May I request now Mr. Rashmi sir to unveil the award.
Sir, you are here. Your camera, please.
Can you see me now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes. Yeah. So it will be unveiled virtually. Yeah, Jitin.
Yeah, please go ahead and all the best.
No, Jitin. Yeah. Yes.
Now, I would like to invite Mr. Rashmi sir to address the gathering, please.
Thank you very much, Shushmita. A good evening to all of you, in particular to Dr. Saha and his outstanding team of directors, advisors, thought leaders, consultants. I mean, the kind of people he has been able to bring together is extremely fascinating, and I must compliment him and the entire team of the FIPS, which has done so much in this just last 1 year. I mean, the very thought of setting up this foundation was an extremely encouraging and outstanding thought in itself. You know, Dr. Saha has devoted his entire life to the packaging industry and thinking on the subject of packaging. And all of you have been leaders in your own field, in your own way, not only in terms of thought, but also in terms of actions. And so this gathering and this coming together of brilliant people there in terms of putting together their thoughts and the possible areas of innovation and how they can support the industry and all the stakeholders in moving towards sustainability is a great idea. You know, the reason why I must compliment all of you is that, and this foundation is that, I mean, I'm not complimenting myself just because I'm associated with this organization, but it's certainly something which needs to be commended to everyone. Sustainability is the biggest challenge of today's society. You know, we are all consuming different kinds of products. We are all producing different kinds of products. and in our daily lives, and we don't understand, we don't really account for the kind of damage that we do to the environment. In the long run, we are actually threatening our own existence. So at the international level, somehow this realization has now, sunk in, that we must do something to save the planet. Our resources are limited. Our lifestyles are so excessively consumerist that if we don't put limits to our levels of consumption and the way we produce and consume, very soon our planet is going to reach a tipping point, which many scientists call a point of no return. So we should, I think, take active steps to avoid going towards that point of no return. And packaging industry certainly should take a lead in that. This is one industry, like some of the industries where there will never be any decline. The food industry, for example, or the pharmaceutical industry, or the health industry, or the packaging industry. It will always be on a rising curve. So you must realize that packaging industry is one industry where resources will keep on being consumed in a larger and larger quantum, but that is not sustainable. So we must set an example. I was listening very carefully to Dr. Pradyumna Vyas and Professor Dheeraj Kumar. They have really set the challenge before us very clearly. That there is ultimately the people go by what they pay for it. Any products that a product that is produced by the industry and consumed by the consumers, ultimately cost is the final benchmark. So we need to be conscious of this, but sustainability also has a cost. Unfortunately, the damage to environment is seen as an external cost. It is not a cost that is internalized by the industry. That cost is being borne by the society in general and not by the producer or the consumer of that sector. That is the most unfortunate part, and that is the real challenge for a sustainable packaging industry. We must learn to internalize this cost. And how do we do that? Under the laws, we have something called extended producer's liability. But I must say with a certain degree of heaviness in my heart that this is something which our producers have not learned. One of the possible ways of reducing the cost, to which Director Mr. Dheeraj Kumar was pointing out, is by recycling the materials. We don't have to create fresh materials all the time. So recycling industry is a circular industry is one way where we can create wealth out of the waste, and we can bring down the cost both for the producer as well as the consumer. And that is a statutory liability, but that is fulfilled more in violation than in actual practice. So this is something which I will request the foundation, all the leaders in this foundation, to do something on that front. That is a part of innovation. How best you can reduce the waste, and how best you can convert that waste into wealth. And that can be done not only through product materials innovation, but also product innovation in different ways. So we don't have to wait for innovation in the materials, which will take certainly a very long time. We certainly can start with innovation in the product design and recycling that waste which we are currently generating. Of course, bringing about a behavioral change in the consumers is very difficult. As consumers, we all consume different kinds of products, so we all know that we don't have to look. We are not worried about the external cost. We don't worry about the waste. We simply worry about meeting our needs. So it's easy to talk about creating greater level of awareness and bringing a change in the behavior of the consumers, but it's not easy. It's going to take a very long time. So therefore, we need to focus on the kind of innovation which we can bring in the systems, in addition to what we can do in the materials. So we have to think, divide the problem both in the long term and in the short term. I'm really happy that the foundation, under the leadership of Dr. Saha and his able supporters, they have come out with a number of documents in such a short time. They have come up with 2 specific documents, white papers, number of discussions that have taken place. They contribute to this thought process. I must congratulate him and all of you once again. But I'll leave you with this thought that since the focus of today's discussion is on sustainability in the supply chain, the focus must be on how the producers and the industry can be either supported or incentivized, or somehow made more conscious of their responsibility. We don't have to talk about legal recourse all the time, but a time has come when we need to present different scenarios to the producers, that if we don't adopt these innovative practices or sustainable practices, what is the cost which they are going to incur, not only to the society but also to themselves? Maybe some kind of this kind of assessment in terms of cost implications for the industry in the long term also will need to be done, and that may help the industry, and foundation can certainly play a good role in that. I'll leave here and stop here. And once again, my best wishes to all of you. And once again, compliments for the excellent work that has been done. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for your inspiring words. Ladies and gentlemen, may I request all of you for a round of applause virtually to make this memorable day as the first Foundation Day of FIPS. We have reached the end of the inaugural session. There will not be any break. I would request all of you to remain seated. Now I hand over the mic to Dr. Meenakshi for the next part of the program. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Sushmita. Once again, good evening to everyone. Now we are going to start our thematic session. Attraction of this webinar is having 3 distinguished speakers. In first session, talk will be on role of effective supply chain management of packaging for e-commerce industry by Professor Manoj Kumar Tiwari, Director, Niti Mumbai. In thematic talk 2, talk will be on initiatives of UNEP to mitigate the impact of plastic packaging on climate change by Mr. Atul Bagay, Head of Country Office, UNEP, New Delhi. After this, we will be on virtual tour to packaging plants coordinated by Mr. M.K. Banerjee. There will be 3 virtual visits. First will be from Mechatronica, Bulgaria. Second will be Manjushri Technopack Private Limited, Guwahati, Assam. And third will be from JBT Foodtech, USA. In session 3, there will be a motivational talk on Chanakya Niti for business growth by Dr. Radhakrishnan Pillai, author of the best-selling books, Corporate Chanakya. Next slide, please. Ladies and gentlemen, I have a pleasure to invite Professor N.C. Saha, Chairman FIPS, who does not need any introduction. However, I thought of mentioning here that Professor Saha has got complete combination of qualifications and experiences in agricultural engineering, food technology, and packaging. I invite Professor Saha to chair the thematic session. It's over to you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Meenakshi, for your kind words. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to start. We know we are already delayed by 30 minutes, and I'm really sorry that we have to start the session late because of the gathering. because at 4 o'clock there was only 6 candidates. We have waited for 10 minutes time. But I believe that all the stalwarts they were talking, it was very informative sessions and you will not be bored and it's not really wastage of your time. So without wasting our time, let's start the session. As Dr. Meenakshi mentioned that we have 2 sessions. The first session is role of effective supply chain management or packaging for e-commerce industry. We have with us a very renowned speaker, the Professor Manoj Kumar Tiwari, who is serving as a director of the National Institute of Industrial Engineering, very reputed institute in the industrial engineering called NITI under the government of India and the Ministry of Education. And he's the director since November 2019. Professor Tiwari is a fellow of the Institute of the Industrial Engineers, IISc USA. He's also the fellow of the Indian National Academy of Engineering and a fellow of National Academy of Science. He was a professor with a higher academic grade of HAG in the Department of Industrial and System Engineering at IIT Kharagpur. His research and teaching interests are in the domain of the manufacturing system and supply chain management. He has published more than 325 papers and in the international journal with a very high index paper. He has been rated as a rank 1 among the top 100 individual researchers across the world. I believe with this kind of illustrious background, we'll not get any other speaker in the country. And it was very difficult for us to get Professor Tiwari. Almost 2 months back, I have to block his time. And I'm so thankful on behalf of the foundation. We are so thankful to you, sir, that you have managed your time and you have connected a little early and you have been enjoying the session. But nevertheless, I would now request you to take over the session and for your presentation on the subject. Over to Professor Tiwari.
Thank you, Professor Saha, and for your kind words. And I feel the immense job that you are doing by inviting such a galaxy of speakers who are well known with the topic of packaging and also design. And this foundation for innovative packaging and sustainability that you have formed, I think in the current era, where there is a slogan for zero defect and zero effect. So I think this is very right point of time you have find this. So really, I am thankful to all the key speakers and dignitaries who are attending this program. And my regards goes to Professor Sahaji, Professor A.K. Ghosh, Professor Deepak Manchanda ji, Mr. Rajani Ranjan Rashmi, and Dr. U. Venkateswarlu, who are here to and attending this gathering. And my topic is how the effectively this packaging and supply chain operations can be clubbed actually, and what are the happening particularly in the domain of the e-commerce. That one small talk I want to give, and I'm sure that Sahaji, my screen is visible now.
Yeah, visible, sir. Yeah.
So directly with this note, once again, I'm thankful to Professor Saha for inviting me. So I'm going to discuss, sir, some of the key facts of how the supply chain management and packaging is connected with the very big industry, particularly e-commerce industry. But before that, there are a lot of discussions that are going on with respect to that, how the packaging is one of the, you can say, very important segment of the logistics and supply chain management. It involves very diverse manufacturing sectors. And you can see that if you combine all together the total value chain amount that is connected with the packaging, it crosses somewhere around $850 billion. And India's packaging market is to reach somewhere around $422 billion by 2024. And particularly when the Prime Minister is talking about 5 trillion economy, then I think one of the growing industries by any means you can imagine is the packaging industry will be there. So keeping that sort of foresight in mind, I think now we have to gear up. But when we go for such a mass, expansion of a particular segment, then we have to also see that how safe it is, how environmental friendly it is, and how you can say resiliency landed things will be part of such kind of expansion plan. And packaging industry, as we can see, that it has a lot of role, particularly during this COVID, when most of the food items and other things, they were also being sent by the very different e-commerce services to a large number of people. And also it has taken a very vast proportion because of the online business, which became very booming during the COVID situations. So just a small statistics I want to present before you, that if you see the altogether, the 5 different kind of packaging materials which are connected with the market, like flexible packaging, as you can see that this is segment, rigid plastics, which is there with this, paper and board, that is maybe around 15%, glass, as you can see, this is around 7-8%, rigid metals, that is around 0.001, and others somewhere in the tune of around 1.3%. So altogether, from different years, this has shown the statistics that how these materials which are required for packaging, how their consumption there in terms of the US millions of the rupees actually. So these data we have collected from the market analyzer, and accordingly we have presented before you just to give a picture that what is the vast market which is connected with the packaging industry. And then if you see the main functions and features of primary packaging, it has 4 components. One is protection, second is convenience, third is communication, and fourth is the containment. In the protection side, our idea for performing the packaging is like say preservation from different kind of elements which are there, particularly nutrition elements and other things, but for food items, then barrier protections and temperature resistance, mechanical protections, and all such devices which we need to incorporate is one of the key features of packaging. Then convenience, that how good is handling, and many of the products, you know, that becomes very unpopular because of very poor packaging style. So it is highly inconvenient to handle those things. So because of that, many products could not do well because they have been ill planned with respect to the packaging. So that is why there is a very important concept goes in the manufacturing also, that is called design for packaging. Means you design the product where there will be concept for how nicely it can be packaged. So handling the issue in the supply chain, display should be properly there in the retailing, handling of consumer, opening to be seen by the consumer side, utilization and disposal. I would like to cite an example. If you see the old style envelopes, old style envelopes which are coming from the US earlier when we were in the early age of our research, then most of us asked to premier scientists to send their papers as a reprint actually. So those reprints come in the very nicely packed envelopes, and you know, by seeing that envelope, always the tendency grows in the mind that when the envelope is so good, then what kind of papers and other thing will be there. So automatically a respect for and tendency to have more content on this will also grow. So that is why the packaging and the color and style that can easily motivate the people to think differently when it is there. Then communication, like identification of the product, information, attention, display, decision making, and branding and advertisement. This is the another functions connected with the what we call packaging. And of course, that is the what kind of containment is there, like encompassing, embodying, so that it looks in what way, whether you can place one over others or side by side. So all these things are some of the features connected with the packaging. And it has a tremendous role in the e-commerce, as I already explained you, like how good it is in handling, how nicely you can market it, and how your customer retention becomes easy by better packaging and Brand also is to be governed many times by very good packaging exercise. And first impressions, that always attracts the better people. So these are the things which are connected with the packaging in the e-commerce. And also, if you compare with traditional and e-commerce, then you can see the different stages and what are the things are happening and which are the material that are playing a role. So this is our normal sense, like manufacturer, warehouse, retailer, and customer. And in e-commerce, there are some other stage also, like after manufacturer, then warehouse, then there is a called fulfillment center, and then we have a last mile delivery options, and then customer. But here the chain does not end. There is also possibility that item which has come up that is not liked by the customer, so return. So this return feature is earlier missing in the traditional retailing, whereas in e-commerce business, this is the return is there. Return means does not mean that the product is bad, because it may not oversize, not fitting to you, or not liked by you, or some changes you have asked but they have not complied that one. So therefore, return also is very important, and therefore packaging plays a very crucial role in that process also. And then e-commerce parcels, as you can see, 20 times more than the traditional retail actually. And there is a closed loop in the e-commerce actually, which I just explained you. Like if you start with the, you can say packaging is cleansed, quality checked, and prepared to the next order. Then customer shop online, and then it goes to the customer delivery in reusable packaging. Of course, return by mailbox or drop off, and then delivery to the distributor centrally or in a decentralized manner. And if you see the time of use versus time to decompose many of the packaging material, then you can see very clearly what are the time that is a cardboard box. Correct. So you can see time to use and time to decompose, say 2 days and 2 months, and then plastic bag 1 hour to 20 hours, and then the styrofoam cup 0.5 hours to 50 years, aluminum can 1 day to 200 years, plastic bottle. So like this, these are the some of the details of their time to use and also time to decompose. So these are the considerations we have to make while designing the better packaging strategies. And also the kind of 4 functions that I mentioned, how to observe those 4 functions. And if you see this different kind of impact, short-term, middle-term, and long-term impact on different partners, like how short-term impact you can witness on the supply network. Then here you can see consumer goods companies will experience short-term delays from suppliers, especially those from the further afield. Similarly, manufacturer that they will experience minor short-term disruption from early staff and supplier disruptions. And logistics and distribution, here delay in the distribution networks may prevent revenue maximization. The channels, online orders, and convenience stores are becoming more popular. And short-term impact consumers will be there, that major shift in the consumer behavior are occurring rapidly, and which is making it difficult to react. Similarly, middle-term impact is also on each entities has been described. And this you can see coloring shows very clearly that this color red one shows the significant negative impact, then moderate negative impact this, and other colors like this shows that no impact. This one shows that green is moderate and positive impact, and this one darker one shows that the significant positive impact. So these are the different kind of short-term, mid-term, and long-term impact on the entities like supplier, manufacturer, logistic distribution, channels, and consumers. And now the concept of smart packaging, which I requested Professor Saha to make a good syllabus for our students, and some of the ideas which are very popularly gaining ground in this count, like say how we have to rely on the very good information system in the form of ERP, so that we can easily control the flow, we can know the stock positions, we can know the what is there on the in-transit inventory, how can we decide that the items which are there backlogging. So all this information we can on fingertip can be have if we have a better information control system in the form of better ERP. And then analytics is all pervasive with the help of data-driven models. all kind of core analytics tools like descriptive, prescriptive, predictive. All this we can use actually to better utilize the information and then take a good decision. Then compute and storage, you can see that how to keep this data on the cloud. So that technology is becoming very popular for information storing and processing. And of course, the communication through different channels like how the 5G, 4G, etc. And towers, they can play a role. Sensors and devices are there to capture the data. So they are all one of the key components like of the smart packaging ecosystem. And then this may lead to the what you call good different kind of packagers who are well known, well informed, have knowledge of the environment, ICT, and analytics group. And then consumers are fully aware now. They need their taste and choice changes very rapidly. Of course, transportation logistics now, there also you have plenty of options, like you can choose the trucks of different types and trucks which consumes different kind of fuels, and also electric vehicles. So in this count, there are many choices, and how to select the better choice. These are all part of the packaging in a smart way. That's why I call it smart packaging ecosystems. And if you see the biodegradable, consumer compostable and recyclable parts, this may lead to a lot of issues which are affecting sustainability of the packaging. And so we have to bother about the source material for sustainability, then green disposal options, then optimized packaging, like how the disassembled components, then finding out which one can be better used, and then landfill are some sort of other options that are there for safe and effective environmental degradation of environmental disposition of material, and then long-term cost efficiency with the help of chosen material for packaging. So sustainable packaging, this is to be part and parcel with respect to the three popular pillars of the sustainability, like people, planet, and prosperity. And we have to ensure the health and safety issues, code of conduct, diversity, community engagement, supplier assurance, and of course, this leading to the circular economy, which is well talked topic now, that how can we properly utilize the even used products also. And there are different kind of renewable and energy efficient devices that are planned to percolate in the supply chain entities. And of course, economic contribution, creating more jobs, creating better price for your product, and bringing more revenue options. These are the things which are connected with prosperity. And CO2 emission, actually, we need to curb 10% decrease by 30th June 2019. This was earlier commitment. And waste to landfill 25% reduction, and water use 10% decrease by June this month. This was all earlier reforms that was taken by the people. And then many future opportunistic sustainable e-commerce packaging involves, like say how the effective packaging design and strategies, they affect this industry. How nicely you can choose the, you can say, what you call part to use for liquid bottles or other solid materials, boxes. I recall very nicely when I saw first time the kiwi fruit supply chain, then how the wooden cardboards were very nicely used for 5 pieces in one go, then a complete box to put in another box, and then they will be brought over at a temperature of 7 to 8 degrees from the plant recipe to the main port. And from there also there is a way that how bigger box, which contains many smaller box. So all this need to be put for the loading to the ship actually for different country. So how effective packaging design strategies there that affects the selling of the product, and the recovery considerations due to this e-commerce practices, like when people are not purchasing the item, returning the item, and then demand of the material, and this how the emissions can be reduced from the source. And reverse logistics is very common. That is, how once your product service life is over, then how will you plan its environmental friendly, what you call recovering of some of the material and items which can be used for maintaining and upgrading some other items, and also disposal. So there are other ways, like say whenever you make something, so how much stresses can test what should be compressive strength, what should be the other requirements, particularly when it is food items, then safety norms. So all these compliances that they need to be worn by having the future opportunities for sustainable e-commerce. And then green packaging, as we have described, we have to do with the help of eco-friendly containers, then newsprint filters, something like these sustainable levels you have to calculate, and then environmental friendly inserts, and then biodegradable sealing tapes. So if you can see here, like zero waste, recycle, sustainable development, they all are interconnected in order to attain the target of green packaging actually. And again, the myriads of the applications of the smart and green packaging that are being realized is like say, we have to ensure the product integrity in terms of the authenticity that is coming from the right manufacturers, security that in between the way, no one can what you call do any tampering. Like say many of the packages we have seen earlier, the package is there, but by some means they take out something. And particularly many complaints we have received at the airport when their luggage were being transferred, trucks were there earlier. Somewhere thieves used to stop and enter into that and then take some of the things and put another similar kind of box so that no one can judge. And then quality and safety issues. Then coming to the e-commerce business feature, then ubiquity, interactive, information density, global research, they all actually contribute to this, and inventory and cycle management and traceability with the help of RFID and other ICT technology. They are also governing the smart packaging operations. I have a simple example that I want to demonstrate about how the dimensional size of the shipping packaging side and its impact on the tree. We just want to demonstrate a simple case where a box on the demand is there, and then we have to see that screening of this thing. The shipment packaging based on the dimensions of the order received, and how this offers critical reviews of the consumers are available there about ways these items are packed, and all this information, feedback, etc. of consumers we take. And then as you can see that dimensional shipping requires that e-retailers have to optimize their packaging, and they also have to reduce the cost and weight that associated with the package. So this way, the cartoon example that I was talking for the e-commerce, like when we see that this is by a particular case study that was there in the form of a very powerful e-commerce company, and they are using the large scale economy of scales, particularly targeting the estimated demand of around 6.54 trillion by 2023. And minimum operating cost of that company, which they are trying to see, is one of the main job. And they want to build up the strategies with packaging cost as major part of day-to-day things. And then optimal cartoon set that need for them for better inventory space utilization. With this particular target, the problem is given a particular demand pattern, the set of orders are to be packed in a warehouse, and each order has to be packed into a set of cartoon available in the warehouse. And then cost of each package order is determined by dimensional weight, which in turn affect the shipping cost. And overall goal of this study is to find an optimal cartoon set given the ordering shipping data in the e-commerce warehouse setting. So considering all these details, we have applied the 3-4 techniques of machine learning, where there are different kind of orders were clubbed, and we have selected very simple algorithms like regression type of things and clustering to use it. And then this order cubing means where there are n orders, and then in each order, how the n cartoon outset n cartoon sets are there. That is, each order is fitted into the best cartoon possible to minimize the space. And then these cartoons are grouped actually to make the bigger order. So this was the way problem, and accordingly we have built up like orders. Then as you can see that space utilization in this case it comes out to 63.9% only. The moment you apply iter place using the heuristic that we have built up, then this has gone up to the 82.4%. Means you can see that optimal cartoon set of 2 cartoons, then selection of 2 cartoons from the 6 is done using the particular algorithm that we have described. It's called nature-inspired algorithm. And then how these things are to be used to minimize the number of cartoons. And then each cartoon minimization is connected with the optimal cartoon set, then carbon cartoon reduction numbers. So we reduced 4.1%. Because of this, annual tree saved is 1401, and annual CO2 emission is somewhere around 28,441 kg. So this way, that company, by virtue of the optimizing the cardboard size and box types, they have achieved this kind of fear. So certainly this is clubbed with the help of packaging as well as applying the proper simulation and optimization tools of AIs to achieve the result. So with this note, I just wanted to conclude that packaging, particularly smart packaging with sustainability features, they are going to live for a longer time, and keeping in mind the very high trade volume that is going to take place in days to come, the industry has a great future, and accordingly, the experts who are here, now they have to find out proper strategy to support the companies in what way they can percolate the idea of for the smart packaging to save the cost as well as attract more and more people to the picture. Thank you very much, Sahab. Any questions or other things?
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Professor Tiwari. I think within such a short time, you have tried to capture many aspects, start from the function of packaging, materials, impact, and the smart packaging, green packaging. And the most important was the last of the demonstration, where one of the company example you have given, how really just mere by changing the dimension, rather we say standardization of the dimension on the optimum dimension, how really CO2 can be saved. Thank you so much, sir, for sparing your time. I know it is already late, but it's a learning session. You know, always I think the participants, about 150 people still are connected. All will be so much benefited by your session. Thank you so much. Thanks for your coming. Yeah.
Now I request Professor Saha, Session Chairman, to present a memento virtually to Professor Manoj Kumar Tiwari.
Thank you, sir. So this will be sent to your office.
Yes,
so
no problem.
Please accept, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think we are moving at the next session, which is also very exciting session. And the speaker we have with us, Mr. Atul Bagai, the head of the country office and United Nations of the Environment Program. I know, sir, we are already late, but it was good for me that it is late on the later of part so that you could be free from all your meetings. Sri Bagai is the country head of the United Nations Environment Program, successfully organized the biggest ever World Environment Day celebration in 2018 with a commitment to end single-use plastics in India by 2022. Successfully assisted the Ministry of Finance to establish a task force for framing the Sustainable Public Procurement Action Plan, laid strong foundation for partnership with the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, Ministry of Railways, Ministry of Housing and Urban Authority, Ministry of HFW, the Shelter Pollution Control Board, and the state government. Basically, Mr. Atul Bagai is a bureaucrat. He is a 1983 batch Indian Administrative Service, and he rose to the Director Ozone of the Ministry of Forest and Environment, Government of India, before joining to UNEP in 2000. And we are, sir, so fortunate that because of our mentor, Reshmi sir, I could reach to you and get your consent that today you'll be here to address the gathering. And I think with your illustrious experience and rich experience on the subject of sustainability and what the United Nations is doing, I think the audience are eager to hear from you on the topic, what we have requested you, the initiative of UNEP to mitigate the impact of plastic packaging on the climate change. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Saha Saab, and thanks for those very kind words. And I would also like to, at the outset, say that as Mr. Rashmi is your mentor and your organization's mentor, he's also my mentor on sustainability and environmental issues. And I really learn from him, and any orders from him or requests from him cannot be neglected. And this is a great opportunity for me and for UNEP in India to be talking to the package industry and to the stakeholders who are involved in this very, very important area of work in India. My previous speakers have already outlined the quantum of problem from packaging that is there, and there are a whole lot of statistics that have been mentioned. I will not go into those to also not paint a picture of gloom in terms of how badly the packaging sector is impacting on environment. But I also wanted to highlight another aspect of packaging industry, that it is one great step for food security that needs to be looked at. I think that the food security that packaging industry brings in is something that needs to be looked at by all the stakeholders who can bring in the importance of using plastic or the importance of using packaging and getting alternatives to this whole area, which needs to be looked at very closely by the industry, by other stakeholders, is becoming a very important area of work nowadays. I will not go into how plastics is assuming such an important role in packaging. What is India's role vis-a-vis the global efforts in this regard, and how much is the problem in India in terms of comparing it with Europe or USA. What I'll try to highlight today is some initiatives that UNEP has brought in on this very important area of plastics and plastics management, and also give some suggestions in the end of what could be possible way forward for various stakeholders and the Indian industry. Meaning, we all are very avid users of Amazon on a daily basis, and it pains us to see that a small item that we order on a daily basis, and millions of people in India and globally are ordering from Amazon on a daily basis. These small items, which could have normally been bought by going to a shop and not getting into too much of packaging, arrives at your doorstep with so much of plastic packaging. A small pen will come with 3 or 4 layers of plastic packaging, which is really compounding this problem. And the fact that online, as previous speakers were saying, e-commerce or online commerce has really compounded this problem so much. And the fact that online purchases and buying has become so much an integral part of a life because of COVID is adding on to the problem that we need to sort out. In UNEP, our office, which was opened in India just about 4.5 years back, we are still trying to find our way in terms of which are those areas which we should be looking at, and which are those areas where we can provide support to various stakeholders, including the Ministry of Environment. And I'm actually very thankful here to Mr. Rashmi, who guided us when our office was set up and he was in the Ministry of Environment, to develop our areas of focus. And there were 2 things which Rashmi also advised us to see, that which are those areas where UNEP can bring in value to what is going on in India. And if you look at any area of the triple planetary crisis of climate change, pollution, and nature, there is so much going on in India for mitigating these challenges that it's amazing the kind of effort that is going on. So what does UNEP bring on the table? Meaning there's already so many multilateral agencies, so much civil society action on environmental, and of course the governments and the central government and the state government. And that was an area which in UNEP we thought, let's try to identify those areas which need focus and which are not being addressed at the level that they should be. And I think Saha Saab mentioned the very first World Environment Day we organized in 2018 that brought in the whole focus in India on plastics. And that was the World Environment Day, where the Prime Minister also announced the 2022 target on single-use plastics. And that was something that was really very unique, that inspired at least 60 to 70 countries globally to bring in similar kind of legislations. And then India, of course, had a resolution on single-use plastic in our assembly the next year. So this was something that UNEP was able to work very closely with the Ministry of Environment and the line ministries to look at single-use plastics. And I think the efforts that are going on are largely a result, both at policy and implementation level, of that decision and the announcement that the Prime Minister made. At the global level, UNEP in the field of marine litter and plastic pollution is helping to develop national and regional action plans. We are working very closely with the ministry to develop a national marine litter action plan. We are facilitating technical and policy support, assessments and solutions under the Norway project and Japan project, which we are doing. We are doing some of these assessments on micro and macro plastics in some of the cities on the Gangetic Basin. We also provide forum to the stakeholders to share experiences and coordinate action. And this is something that we are doing now to bring in various stakeholders on the same platform working on marine litter. And this is some work that our convening power gets used effectively. Of course, generating awareness and platforms for discussions is another area which is an area where UNEP is working all over the world with various member states. I would like to also mention that UNEP has recently launched a major report in June 2021 with the World Travel and Tourism Council, and it addresses the complex issue of single-use plastic and products within the travel and tourism sector. And in fact, on 27 September 2021, on the World International Tourism Day, UNEP and Ministry of Tourism, Government of India, and the Responsible Tourism Society of India, which is a civil society organization, a business association, we signed a MOU to highlight the focus on tourism sector, on sustainable tourism, and plastics is going to be a very major component of that effort and work that is going to be done in India over the next 2 to 3 years. In fact, Ellen MacArthur Foundation, in collaboration with UNEP, has also united more than 500 organizations on a common vision for circular economy for plastics. There are so many efforts that are happening with the industry and UNEP and in India. And I can list many, but I would like to request the industry that is present here today, and of course, Dr. Saha's foundation, to also bring in this industry in touch with our organization and to use that platform that we have formed to come up with discussion on these issues and also to come up with solutions. And in this specific area, I wanted to specifically mention and spend some time where I am seeking also support of Dr. Saha's organization and all the industry that is present here, that we have just launched a report. We've just launched a project to assess the state of plastic packaging sector with a focus on recyclability of plastics, packaging, and the implementation of EPR. This is a very focused study which we are going to do over the next 7 to 8 months. And we've just launched this project last week. And I would like that all the industry that is present here and all the organizations that are here, and especially the Foundation for Innovative Packaging and Sustainability, to be very active members and partners in this study. We could, of course, have a session on this along with the organization that is helping us do this study. I'll just spend 5 minutes on what this study is and what is the purpose of this study. And it includes a detailed investigation for selected end user industries, namely food packaging, alcoholic and non-alcoholic beverages, and FMCG, especially personal care. The focus will also be on sectors' ability to transition to sustainable packaging. And I was hearing with a lot of interest to the speaker who just spoke before me on sustainable packaging, and there was so much of interest our organization will have in the kind of initiatives he was referring to and mentioning that's happening in this country. And finally, the study, apart from looking at challenges and case studies, aims to also capture barriers to use of recycled plastic in packaging, especially food and beverages. So it's a holistic kind of a comprehensive kind of a study that we are also doing within also the framework of how EPR can be leveraged and galvanized for this area of work. This project involves 3 interrelated sub-studies and a development of a 10-year strategy for sustainable plastic packaging in India. And these sub-studies also, I will not go into many details of this, but are basically around the state of plastics in packaging sector, the state of plastic packaging in selected subsectors, and I mentioned already the 4 subsectors which we're looking at: food packaging, alcoholic and non-alcoholic beverages, FCMG, especially personal care, and chemicals and fertilizers. And finally, the scenarios for sustainable packaging. So these 3 sub-studies would be part of this larger study that will happen. And then, as I said, we'll ultimately we'll develop, along with consultation of all stakeholders, on a strategy for sustainable plastic packaging in India. Of course, there has to be a major area of work on alternatives. Otherwise, sustainable packaging will only become a dream. In terms of methodology, we are planning that the project will use both primary and secondary research methodology to undertake this study. There will be a desk-based literature review, questionnaire survey, which we'll be sending you. And of course, there'll be information interviews with the relevant stakeholders and site visits. So this is a study which I'm very keen that your organization, Saha Saab, and also all the industry that is present there, and of course, a much larger industry that could not be here, should be not only our focus for our study, but they should also partner actively in it, and we will reach out to each and every one of them to get them on board. I would just conclude now by giving a few suggestions in how can we move forward to address this most challenging planetary crisis that we are all facing. And there's no doubt that this needs a conscious effort to reduce emissions for full plastic life cycle. We need to look at the whole life cycle and not just one subsector of packaging, or the whole value chain needs to be looked at. We certainly need industry's involvement to promote alternatives, which is a very important aspect. And promoting reuse of plastic products is a very good way of addressing this problem. But having alternatives which are sustainable is a long-term solution that we need to look at. Certainly, regulations and policies for plastic waste generation, for recycling, for EPR schemes, they are all important, but they will need stringent enforcement. And that is something that India needs to really look at on enforcement. Enhanced awareness amongst consumers, amongst industry, is a point that has been reiterated so many times that it has become a cliche, but it is a very, very important part for behavior change. And you cannot do without putting your focus of efforts on this. There is no doubt that cost-efficient packaging solutions with innovative designs are needed. And the previous speaker mentioned a lot of very valid points in regard to cost, which are very, very important. And packaging industry and manufacturers need to develop a strategy. They have to have a strategy of moving to sustainable packaging and not look just at a profit motive, which certainly this industry has grown exponentially over the last couple of years and will grow, as was being said by previous speakers. But I think they need to look at in a very strategic manner, looking at cost efficiency, looking at consumer convenience and sustainability, looking at design improvisation strategies to enable easy collection, recycling, and reuse. And I think one of the speakers was mentioning of that amazing Republic Day card, which could be used as, after using it, it could be planted for growing an amla tree. These kind of innovations are very, very important and need to be scaled up to see that recycling and reuse becomes a way of life. I remember we used a similar kind of an approach for the invitation cards we had sent out in 2018 for the World Environment Day along with the Ministry of Environment. And that became such an important initiative. So I think these kind of solutions are very, very important, and the whole circular use of materials to reduce virgin material use should be the major approach to handling this problem of packaging also. I am extremely thankful to Professor Saha for inviting me for this. I am extremely thankful to my mentor, Rashmi Sab, for suggesting my name and for encouraging me to be part of this very, very amazing initiative this foundation has taken up. And I would certainly end by saying that UNEP is there for all the support you need for your amazing work you're doing. And please do not hesitate to be in touch with us. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. So nice for your kind words. Sir, I think for the last 25 minutes, you have covered many aspects, especially what the UNEP is doing. I think our areas of interest in the plastic packaging, and which is everywhere across the world, the plastic has become the victim. And it's true, it's not the material, it's all the behavioral change, what the Rashmi sir was also talking. But I'm really excited to know, and it will be, we will be fortunate to be a part of this project, what you're talking about, the access to the plastic packaging and recycling status in India, the primary, secondary, and all these brand owners, in fact, are the team of FIPS is a mixed group. We have dog expertise on the material science, we got a plastics experts, I am from the packaging, we got FMCG experts, I'm working for last 30 years. So I think this is a fantastic combination of a group. And sir, we'll be very much thankful if you can give a chance to be a part of that project as a partner. And definitely, sir, we'll extend our hands on how best we can do it. In fact, we are already doing a similar kind of product, but not exactly the same project what you are thinking at all. Sustainable packaging, it is one of our motto. As Rashmi sir, being a mentor, he all the times he talks us, and that's the way the Professor Vyas and now Professor Dhiraj Kumar has come, now National Institute of Design has come. And it was easy for me because I worked in the Institute of Packaging, which under the Commerce Ministry, and the same ministry now, the Dhiraj Kumar has come. So I think we have got a lot of ecosystem. Will be very easy for us to understand each other. And I'm sure we'll be making some kind of design based on the natural material, and which will be more sustainable material. So thank you so much, sir, for sparing your so much valuable time. And you have to tell us, sir, how to contact you. Maybe I'll write to you for this project, how to get associated and all, and then more details we can understand and give us some kind of leverage that how we can also submit our proposal to you. Right, sir. So thank you so much, sir, for your
Thank you.
nice talk, nice presentation. Thank you so much. Yeah.
I request Professor Saha, session chairman, to present a memento virtually to Mr. Atul Bagai.
Sir, please accept it virtually.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, we'll arrange it to send it to your officers.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot. Ladies and gentlemen, now we'll have a little different, though it is a little delay, but I think you will enjoy it. We'll have a virtual tour to the packaging plant, and we have identified 3 important plants on the packaging industry. In this pandemic scenario, I think that this is the best way, which is called a aerial view of the industry. One is the industry is very famous called Mechatronica from Bulgaria. So from India straight away, you can see the plant visit to Mechatronica at the Kombis, Sofia, Bulgaria. I'm really sorry. The promoter was present with us. He could have spoken on his own, but we are already late, so he has to leave the place. But we have got the virtual, the video, which we can show you. It's something like 2 to 3 minutes time. And followed by that, we have another company. So 3 company one by one. So let's start this with Mechatronica from Bulgaria. Thank you. I think Praveen Bhatia is here. Praveen Bhatia, you want to say a few lines about this machine? I think it's an automatic.
Yeah, I can speak about.
Just 2 minutes. Just give brief that what we saw that automation. Yeah.
About this machine. Yeah. Thank you. This is a FFS machine where we call a form, fill, and seal machine. There we make a tube in the world. Where normally you have seen the tube which is being formed outside and then it is being filled either with a contract packer or the brand owners. But this machine can make a tube and the same like as you see in a FFS pouches with tube here, fill it and seal it. And the first installation has been done in Hindustan level Guwahati with the speed of 300 tubes per minute. Thank you.
Fantastic. It's a great innovation that the plastic laminated tube, it has come also in a form fill seal. We know normally FFS comes only in the flexible, but even it has come in a semi-rigid packaging. Thank you so much, Bhatia. I think it's a great eye-opener for all the audience. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So we'll move on now to our next factory visits. So from Bulgaria, we'll move to Guwahati. It's one of the leading flexible packaging industry in the Northeast area. This is called Manjushri Technopack Guwahati. I think Shekhar he has already connected with us. Now let's see this, what is about Manjushri Technopack on flexible packaging.
भारत के उत्तर पूर्व में स्थित ब्रह्मपुत्र नदी और ढेर सारी वादियों से घिरा हुआ है गुवाहाटी शहर, और इस शहर में स्थित है 20 साल के तजुर्बे के साथ मंजुश्री इनोवेशंस प्राइवेट लिमिटेड. It has started its latest venture with state-of-the-art infrastructure in East India in 2017, which can provide one-stop solution for all kind of packaging needs. Manjushri Innovations is a BRCGS certified organization, a globally recognized certification for packaging industry. The plant is also compliant with SIDEX requirement on sustainability norms and ethical business practices. Let's take a tour of Manjushri Innovation Private Limited. It has a current capacity to produce 8,000 metric ton annually and has future potential of 18,000 metric ton. Here, we produce laminated rolls, pouches and multi-layer films for various food and non-food applications. We have in-house blown film extrusion production as a part of backward integration of laminate conversion process. Printing line is equipped with 6, 8 and 9 color rotograver machine with all the modern day technological requirement to produce error-free printing jobs. The high-speed machines reduce effort and allows to meet customer delivery within quickest possible lead time. Lamination line is equipped with solvent-based, solventless and co-extrusion lamination machine to cater all industry needs. Multiple slitting machines enables for faster production of jobs. Wide range of pouching machines enables us to cater customized customer requirements. Plan has been designed and machineries are well placed, considering unidirectional and minimum cross-flow movement for man and material. हम विश्व स्तर पर माननीय हाई हाइजीन स्टैंडर्ड प्लान का पालन करते हैं. Delivering quality products and service is not a customer requirement, but a part of Manjushri Innovations preamble. Commitment to quality is our forte and habit for us. The Quality Assurance Laboratory is a backbone of our packaging innovation and conversion processes. It carries out incoming, in-process and outgoing quality assurance checks of raw materials, in-process materials and approved finished pack stocks. Quality, environment, innovation, health and safety policies and their deployment helps organization to achieve their vision and mission in true spirit. The plant follows good manufacturing norms. We have in-house in-kitchen facility and well-managed storage area and traceability system. We emphasize extensive use of technological infrastructure like ERP and cloud-based storage. We take on new challenges and provide ample of opportunities to learn and grow. Safe working is given more priority in organization than more working. Every attempt is made to make the organization an accident-free workplace. Accident-free workplace. We believe in our tagline. We grow कर दिखाएंगे.
Thank you, Shekhar. Thank you, Shekhar Agarwal, who has provided the video. He is the promoter of Manjushri Technopack Private Limited, Guwahati. Now, after Guwahati, we'll move on to the last video. We are in USA, and we are thankful to our thought leader, Mr. Avijit Chaudhary, who is our FIPS thought leader based in New York, and he has contributed from a company called JBT USA. This is a JBT Food Tech. They make the different food processing machinery, innovative machinery. Let's see what JBT Food Tech. Thank you, Abhijit. Thank you for your great contribution to show us sitting at US about what is the JBT food tech, making a different kind of food processing machinery. Now we'll go to the last session. It is a very brief session because Radhakrishna Pillai will take a very brief session on a Chanakya Niti for the business growth. Dr. Radhakrishna Pillai, I think he does not need any introduction. He is one of the celebrity in the field of corporate Chanakya. Yeah, he is, next slide. Dr. Radhakrishna Pillai is rated the #1 best-selling business author with 17 best-selling books in Chanakya, starting with all-time recording breaking sales of corporate Chanakya to children's series named Chatur Chanakya. He has readers from all age group from across the globe. He is the founder and director of Chanakya International Institute of Leadership Studies under the Mumbai University. He has done over 1,000 lectures in institutions like National Defense College, Defense Service Staff College, Indian Institute of Management, Indian Institute of Technology, Indian Institute of Science, Reserve Bank of India, Bombay Stock Exchange, and National Stock Exchange, NEC, etc. He has been a leadership and strategy advisor to over 500 organizations, including various corporations, government and non-government organizations. Many national and international awards has been conferred on him. Some of them includes the Avishkar Research Award, Governor of Maharashtra Fellowship, International Yoga Day Organizer, Government of Chandigarh, the Sardar Patel International Award, Rotary International Award in the field of education, and Lokmat Award for the Best Teacher of Philosophy, and Lito Fest Award received at the House of Lords and British Parliament, among others. He has rated at the top 50 management thinkers from India by Thinkers50.com, and he is on a mission made to bring back ancient Indian wisdom in a modern format. Next slide. This is just a glimpse of what the Radhakrishna Pillai 21 books. So we'll have very brief session on Chanakya Niti for business growth from Dr. Radhakrishnan Pillai.
Thank you so much. So yes, today.
Oh, sorry.
Thank you so much. So yes, today we are getting into detail of what we are here for. That is Chanakya and the art of getting rich. Chanakya made not only individuals, but the whole country rich. So let me start with a small story. The story is about a farmer. And this particular farmer used to always get year after year a lot of government awards for getting a lot of good farm yield. So every time he used to get this award, next year also used to get the award because, you know, largest yield that he used to produce. So one day when journalists came to that particular person and asked him, yeah, how come year after year you only get the award? So what is the secret? You know, there are so many farmers, they're also doing a lot of experimenting and all, but they don't get an award. How come you only get always a great farmer award? So I will tell you a secret. Now, what is that secret? I believe in R&D. In R&D, Research and development. Oh, so you're a farm scientist. Yeah. I'm not a farm scientist, but I'm a farmer who believes in science. Acha. Okay. So what is your secret? You know what I do? A lot of people know there are farming seasons and then there is resting seasons. So what is the resting season? So I sow the seed, I do everything that is required and wait for the rain to fall. And once I have done all my daily work of manuring, taking care, a lot of my free time, I go and read books. I go to some of these universities, go and meet agricultural professors, and then ask them, tell me what's happening in the latest, what is happening in the latest, what's all the new thing. And you'll be surprised that a lot of people who are farmers, they understand farming, but they don't understand research. Of course, fortunately now our education system is also changing. Farmer children are getting educated. Unfortunately, many farmer children are becoming IT experts and going out, not coming back to farming field. So this farmer was very interested in research, used to go and talk, and he used to tell those scientists, hey, you have this new particular formula, this new seed, hybrid, I will give you my land to experiment. Achha, then the professor, the researcher also very happy. Achha, ye ped poda tumhare idhar karte. And the moment the yield comes out, I will use it for the whole farm. Achha, so that's your secret to success, R&D. And the farmer said, wait. There's one more secret. What is that? 2 secrets in one go. Yeah. The moment I find that this is the new thing to be implemented, it's like, I hope all of you know that your Zoom has to be updated from time to time, version 1, version 2. So you will give this pop-ups in every particular program or app that you have update. So I get updated. Okay, so we understood it. That's how you get developed. No. After I use it, I go and tell all my farmer friends, please, you also update yourself. Yeah, why you are telling others? Trade secret hai na, dusre ko nahi batane ka. Yes, I go and distribute to everyone. So suppose my WhatsApp is updated, but if I forward to somebody and his WhatsApp is not updated, we cannot connect. So immediately I go and give it to everyone. This journalist was a little bit surprised and saying, why are you distributing your trade secrets? You do R&D, you speak to the professors, you do experiment. Why are you sharing it? And he said something very nice. There is something called as the law of farm. So what is the law of farm? So we are farmers, yes, there is a law. Sure, I have this piece of land. It could be 2 acres or 200 acres, but it's surrounded by other farmers. Suppose I have the best yield and Aju Baju mein, in the remaining areas, it is outdated version, then I will never get the best yield. Really? Yeah. Imagine it's like, I have the best air condition, but everything else coming is, not that good. So it will spoil my farm. So the secret is, if you have the secret of success, share it with everyone, and you create an ecosystem of everybody using the latest technology. Oh, I didn't know that. Yes. So the secret to success is R&D plus sharing your R&D with others. So that is why we are sharing all the PPT to all of you. Okay. So we have spent 21 years. So don't think that, hey, get PPT, they're charging money. You try this, because every PPT, every word, every image is not just about cut, copy, paste. It's original, okay? A lot of people are copying us. And by the way, we are very happy. If you copy, it is very nice for us. But don't keep it to yourself. The secret is spread across. So we'll give you everything and you give it to others. But after practicing. How do you connect to Chanakya, all this story? Chanakya knew the formula of how to make one kingdom rich, Magad. But he said, wait, why should I make one kingdom rich and only have one king who knows the formula, Chandragupta, my student? Let me unite everybody into one nation called India, and I will make the whole secret of Arthashastra given to all the kings. So remember, it is not Magad which was the richest part of the world, it was India, Bharat. So friends, we all have to become rich together. It's not about I versus you, it is you and me. So today we will be learning the secrets of how India become the richest part of the world. No secrets, only sharing. This is India's knowledge to the world. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Radhakrishna. Yeah, he has given with a glimpse of idea. Yeah, Meenakshi, you can. Yeah, he has given a glimpse of idea about how the Chanakya Niti goes for to become a cooperative management and to make richer on everyone. Yeah, Meenakshi.
I invite Professor Saha, session chairman, to present a memento virtually to Dr. Radhakrishnan Pillai.
Yeah. Thank you, Radha. Please accept our memento as a token of appreciation virtually, and we'll make arrangement to send it to your office. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Now this is the time to invite Mr. Mrinal Kanti Banerjee, Director Innovation, Sustainability and Finance. He is popularly known as MK. He is an innovator and thought leader in the field of laminated and extruded tube packaging and allied polymer conversion field, including printing and decoration. He worked with SL Propack Limited, a leading corporate in the manufacturing of plastic-based laminated plastic tubes for last 35 years and superannuated recently. As Director of Creativity and Innovation in SL Propack, the job was to innovate unique and novel packaging structures and commercialize those at faster speed, and also to build the intellectual property portfolio covering all the patented and unique products. MK has applied patents for 156 innovative products globally, and out of that, 55 patents got grant from various countries. May I now invite Mr. MK Banerjee to propose formal vote of thanks. It's over to you, sir.
Thank you, Meenakshi, Dr. Meenakshi, for an elaborate introduction. I think in industry, people know me, more friends than, academician that way. Yeah, in 35 years, we have done a lot of work and all this. Now that role reversal is there, from foundation, we would like to help startups, industry to produce themselves, and whatever software knowledge we'll be providing them. So our endeavor is there, and we already started the journey. So I'll go in reverse order. So first of all, I would like to thank Dr. Radhakrishnan Pillai for his brief recorded speech. In fact, he couldn't come, but with this small little brief lecture of his, we'll be inviting him in person, and we'll be having hours of lecture in future. So thank you very much, sir. And no doubt that you are one of the great motivational speaker in modern India. We would like to listen to you more often. Thank you very much. Now we would like to thank Mr. Atul Bagai, Head of Country Office, UNEP, New Delhi. And we have learned from him sensitivity of packaging online and offline and all this. And we are very happy to learn that UNEP is doing a lot of anchoring role in single-use plastic, then project on study on plastic packaging, recyclability, primary versus secondary, and also linking with ERP system. So thank you very much, sir, for your very initiatives, and we would like to work with you in future, our organization. I would like to thank Professor Manoj Kumar Tiwari, Director, National Institute of Industrial Engineering, for his excellent talk on role of effective supply chain management packaging for e-commerce industry. So some of the good things, what sir said, it was more like time to use. That means consumer, they use from the day of packing, and then time to use versus time to decompose. So this is very interesting matrix. We could see that then smart packaging ecosystem and technology, how this can be interactive, and design it, use of artificial intelligence, smart packaging, then packaging which gives signal and sensor base, that we have learned. Thank you very much, sir, for your kind lecture. It was very enlightening. So we'd like to thank our mentor, Mr. R.R. Rashmi and Dr. U. Venkateshwarlu for their constant guidance, and also, showing us direction time to time. So thank you very much, sir. I would like to thank our advisor for guiding us almost, weekly and monthly, our meetings and all these, and they themselves participate in, various our meetings. And so you would like to extend our thanks to them. I would like to thank our industry collaborator for sharing their industry or plant walk-in videos. These are very rare. Industry generally they are a little bit kind of secret about showing their plant inside. But you can see our three of our industry partner, like Mechatronic from Bulgaria, Manjusri from Assam, far northeast, fantastic plant they have shown, and also Mechatronic Bulgaria and JBT in USA. So we have learned something out of this, but mind it, for advanced machinery, all this you need smart packaging as well. So it is not the machine. With the smart machine, with the speed and hygiene requirement, our packaging has to be improved. So this is one of the great learning. We thought, we must bring it there. So thank you very much, our industry partner, for that. We would like to thank our sponsor, advertiser, those who have wholeheartedly helped us, supported us financially or in kind to celebrate this grand occasion, and also contributed towards the white paper publication. So we thank you all on behalf of FIES. We would like to thank our core committee and consultant for their tireless participation in weekly meetings as well as on demand as and when required. So thank you very much for entire team there. So entire board of directors, we are grateful to you for your contribution. I would personally like to thank my director colleagues, Professor Anup K. Ghosh, and also our chairman, Professor N.C. Shah. Is like their machine. I simply laughing means we cannot match his speed and energy and all this. Thank you, sir, for supporting us and guiding us. It is like 24/7, day and night there. A huge salute to both of you. Lastly, I would like to extend my special thanks to our chief consultant, Mr. Deepak Manchanda ji, and he also is a great person, visionary, and interestingly, our entire white paper 1 year back, initial, and the second one also, it is conceptualized by him, entire thing edited and put together, stitched together by Deepak Manchadi. Huge salute to you, sir. Now, how can I forget our two lovely ladies? So they have done such a great jobs and all this, and without any, I mean, they have done with the passion and all this. A huge respect to both of you, Dr. Sushmita and Dr. Meenakshi. Thank you all once again. Best regards. Namaskar.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Banerjee. Thank you to all our presenters and participants for attending this session. We encourage you to connect with us on social media. If you have additional questions, you can contact us by email or visit our website. We will be happy to provide additional support. Thank you all. Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Alex. Thank you so much. So you are, you could enjoy the session.
Very well. I look forward to cooperating with the foundation.
Yes. So you, Professor Ghosh and Banerjee, Alex is from, he is from African Packaging Organization. He is based in Nigeria, and he was my colleague at the World Packaging Organization. So I think, Alex, our foundation and APO, we can plan some future program in the coming year in 22-23 and see that how best we can extend our arm to East Africa too, because we have already gone to South Africa. Thank you, Alex, for joining today. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Looking forward.
Thank you. Yes. Thank you very much.
Namaste.
Thank you. Thank you.
Namaste.
Namaste. Namaste.
Namaste. Yeah.
Great, sir. Yeah.